happening, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of 302 Birds. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. As usual, you guys know the usual suspects. Everybody wave, what's up? But there's somebody else I want to welcome new to the show tonight. Gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for somebody who actually listens to our podcast. Number one, we're lucky to have enough as a listener. But number two, we're lucky enough to have him giving us his opinion on the show tonight. Jordan, welcome to the show, brother. Thank you for coming on. Jordan, one thing we always like to do to start off here to ask new people coming on the podcast, any Eagles memory you might have or anything that comes to mind with first Eagles game, or how did you become an Eagles fan? Any interesting or funny stories?
I get that question a lot about being an Eagles fan because I'm from Eastern North Carolina. So they're always like, why don't you go to the Panthers, whatever. No. So we were, I think it was like 2007, 2008. And we were flipping through the TV, and we saw Donovan McNabb tearing up, I think it was Washington's defense one game, him and Brian Westbrook. And I was like, these are my guys.
And ever since, you've stuck with them ever since?
Ever since.
Hey, I like that. Now, were you a T.O. guy? Like, how did you feel about the whole thing with T.O. and McNabb? Whose side were you on with all that?
It's hard to say. It's one of those things where,
it's mutual.
It's kind of mutual in all honesty.
Don't worry. There's somebody in here, though. I'm just trying to set this kid up. There's somebody in here that doesn't think that it's mutual, Jordan. Tommy, anything you want to say on that real quick before we jump into our first topic?
I'm not going to get the full rant, but at this point, I'm definitely more Team T.O. as stuff has come out over the years than Team McNabb, just because McNabb couldn't control his drinking. It's plain and simple. So, and he has badmouthed Philadelphia too many times. So that's all I'll say on that topic.
All right. Well, I do want to jump into our next topic of the night, a new special topic. Everybody, welcome our new segment.
Time for Phillies talk with Ballpark Tommy. Dinger Stitch.
Our first topic of the night, we're talking about the Phillies. We don't usually do it on here, but Tom Salucci, our Phillies expert, has us talking about the Phillies. I mean, you were pretty pissed a couple days ago, but today they seem to relieve you. Talk about the Phils a little bit and maybe some of your upcoming season expectations.
Oh my God, what you call it? They're what now, 5-8 on the season? Like, that's pathetic. The way that, like, they started out the season 2-1, and I'm sorry. I was enraged this morning seeing that 6-5 score. How do you lose 3 out of 4 of the Marlins? It's been 10 effing years. 10 years I've had to see since I last saw my Phillies like do anything. And they the last memory I have of playoff baseball in Philadelphia is Ryan Howard tearing his Achilles. That's my last memory. Hey, and the Phillies year in, year out. They wheel out the sorry-ass team every year and get my hopes and expectations up just for it to be, but we're trying to win. Trying doesn't cut it. This is the big boys league. We play – here's our football reference. You play to win the game. You play to win the game. Hey, I'm tired of this, we're trying bullshit. Hey, you know what? You're getting paid $25 million in the poorest major city in the U.S. and you can't go out there and figure it out within 8 games how to win. This is ridiculous. It's wake up, hit a homer, or win a game. You're getting paid millions to play a kid's game.
Damn.
As Alec Boehm once said, Tom,
I fucking hate this place.
I fucking hate this place. I mean, this is embarrassing. Like, I thought about it today at work, and I don't watch a lot of baseball. I'm not the Phillies expert. I'm not Dingers Dutch. But, you know, I have hit a couple dingers in my day. Anyway, the point is...
That's bullshit.
Jack, let's take it out on the field then, Jack. Let's
okay,
go the show tonight because I beat your ass every time we play the show. Anyway, the point is to spend all this money and to be this bad, it's freaking embarrassing. Like, what if the Phillies go out and we spent money on Schwarber? We spent money on Castellanos. Did I say that right, Tom?
Yes.
Beautiful. Anyway, if we spend all this money on these guys and like we don't even make the playoffs. Christ, that would be so bad.
We're dead last in the East right now.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking embarrassing. Jordan, do you watch? Are you a big Phillies fan? Do you watch the Phillies like casually? Do you have a baseball team?
I'm gonna keep it short for you guys. I don't follow baseball at all. Not after playing in high school. I slowed back a lot.
All right, well, we appreciate the honesty. Zep, anything you want to say?
Yeah, it's April baseball. Who cares? There's like 1,000 more games left.
Until
Zep,
it comes down to
Zep,
one
are you a
game in
Phillies
September.
Huh?
Are you a Phillies fan, Zep?
Yeah, I'm a everything Philly fan, but like, who gives a shit? It's April baseball. There's 1,000 more games left.
And then you miss the playoffs by one game in September, and you're like, well, here's all these games they could have won and should have won.
I don't care. I whatever. We'll be fine. We'll be fine, Tom.
No, we're not.
Jack, are you a Phillies fan?
Yeah, of course I am. I mean, I go to any game I can go to. But you know,
Whoa, he goes to any game he can go to.
As expected, we throw a lot of money for good players, and they're not really forming well as a team, and we're not playing well. Give it time. I like Josh said. I know it's April baseball, but you know, mid-season, let's revisit this and see if we're actually worried about losing the season. But as expected, as any Philly team to get some good players, they're not going to be good for the first couple months playing together. So don't give up hope. Don't give up hope.
They've been Aztecs.
They have been. I'm so sick and tired of it. It's been 10 years since I last saw any postseason baseball in Philadelphia. 10 years.
Tommy, what would you say the Phillies suck?
Right now, yes.
Right now, yeah.
Because my dad always is the same way as you. He's a fair weather fan. Like if they're not playing well, he says they suck.
I watch
You are kind of a fair weather fan, Tom.
How?
Tom, you're kind of a fair. Tom,
I
you're kind of a fair weather fan with the
frustrated
with the
with the teams you love. Don't you get frustrated with the Birds?
Oh, don't even get me started on Howie. He'll fuck it.
Yeah. See, you get frustrated with them. I can be frustrated with the Phillies. It makes me a fair weather fan. I'm always for the Phillies.
Tom, Jordan's getting in your head. That's all he's doing. It's a mind game for him.
It's okay. He gets no girls, so it's fine.
All right, Tom. MVP. I know you really are like the kind of person like me where you don't give a shit. Like, as long as we win a championship, you don't care about the title. And I feel like MVP, Joel Embiid's the same way. But he told Nick Nurse the other night to shut the fuck up. What do you think about that?
Nick Nurse needs to shut the fuck up. He's a little puss. Nick Nurse complains for the calls. But if you watched any of those first two games, it's tackle football out there. That's his whole strategy is to literally tackle Embiid, which was the strategy when Ben Simmons was on this team, and no one had an issue. I saw a stat today. Ben Simmons in the fourth quarter of most playoff games would average 24 free throws. No one had a problem fouling Ben Simmons 12 times in one quarter when they knew he just couldn't make a free throw. But Embiid, all of a sudden, because he can make them, you have an issue? Stop fouling him. Just stop fouling him. You don't want him to make free throws? Fine. Stop fouling him. Then he's going to hit you with the mid-range game. Then he's going to hit you with a dunk if you don't tackle him. But you just can't tackle him. That's all of Nick Nurse's strategy.
What if I foul him?
Then he's going to make free throws. He's going to put 40 points on Nick Nurse's ass.
Jordan, are you a Sixers fan? Do you have a basketball team?
I don't. I have no interest in basketball, to be honest with you.
Hey, don't worry. We'll be getting into the Eagles soon enough. Jack, you were watching it the other night. What do you think about this guy?
No, I mean, it was kind of funny that Embiid kind of on the side, like he was on the court and kind of pulled Nick Nurse aside and said, "Stop fouling me. I'm going to make every free throw." So, like, I mean, I guess that's the only way to stop Embiid is to foul him because you can't really stop him any other way. So, I mean, like Tommy said, stop fouling him. Stop bitching. Stop fouling him. Stop bitching. Stop fouling him. Let's go.
They're obvious fouls, too. It's not
Right.
like it's like like chippy stuff.
And they were firing on all cylinders, Dutch.
They were Dutch.
Yeah, they're down 10.5 though.
What are you thinking about this right now, Zep? I mean, are you agreeing with Danny Green's quote? This series doesn't start until somebody wins an away game. That's a quote that you would like.
Yeah, I don't mess with that quote. That's a lie. I mean, series starts when the series starts. But yeah, they're down by 10. Embiid only has 5 points. We need Harden to go nuclear. I tweeted it. He needs to go nuclear. I don't care how good Max is playing. I don't care about the foul story, whatever. We need Harden to take over a game.
He has 10 points tonight.
No, he's playing good tonight, but we need him to have a Harden game.
Well, we see. Does he still have it in him? He's not the Houston Rocket Harden that we're used to seeing.
Nope.
Oh, he definitely does. Nope. He does.
So?
Not yet, at least. You know who we need to go? I still want to save it for Harden. There's still 16 teams left. I want Maxey to go nuclear again. This is the Raptors, and I think it's only going to get more difficult. And I think Maxey is the real diamond in the rough. Talk about firing on all cylinders. I think without Tyrese Maxey, if he would have been included in this trade, it would have went dramatically different. Seth Curry was a big loss. Don't get me wrong. We experienced that with the shooting. But Maxey's a freaking stud. The way that he's played in the playoffs, the way that he's blossomed, he gives me Allen Iverson vibes. I've never liked a player like him as much as I do. The defense is there. Matisse, unfortunately, doesn't want to get vaccinated, and I totally respect it. That it's your opinion. But at the same time, I mean, you're in the NBA, so that's really tough because we lose you in the away games. But I think that the Sixers now should win this game tonight. If they win, I think that they'll win in 4. If they lose tonight, I think that they'll win in 6. That's how I feel. Anybody else got anything to say about the Sixers before we move on?
You pray to Christ they win today.
Yeah.
Can you say a prayer for us real quick, Jack?
In the name of the Father and Son. Dear baby Jesus, thank you for my fine ass wife. It's a Mountain Dew. Let the Sixers win tonight. Amen.
Oh my gosh. All right, Jack. You and I were talking about this a little bit today. I'm going to put you on the spot first. Are you good to go on the spot first, or do you want me to go first?
I can go.
All right, bet. Because I can't go first. Thank you. The Philadelphia Stars, starting off in the USFL. Starting off a little bit slow. What do you think?
I mean, it's a brand new football season. So I'm not sure any of the players on the team are. But I mean, it was a good weekend, a good showing for this league. So I think the Stars, it's a slow start. They only lost by 6 points, I think, this weekend. But I think they'll be top of their leaderboard come here the next couple months.
I think that the QB, I'll go real quick. I think that the QB that they got too, Bryson Scott, they say that he's supposed to be like the Aaron Rodgers, I don't know, of the USFL. I don't know. I really don't see a lot with him. He made a couple good passes. He was pretty accurate, but some of the interceptions that he had in the little bit of the game that I watched was not good. The running back, Holland, is a stud. He needs to get the ball more. And their one wide receiver, I think, Howard, he was really good. But at the end of the day, I feel like we should have won that game against the Breakers. I feel like we have a better team. But Davin, what's his name? Bellamy? I'm probably mispronouncing something, but he's a freaking animal. He kept getting sacks. I don't know if anybody was watching the game. He had I think 5 sacks at the end of it. And he was the number 1 overall defensive edge pick. So
I mean, it hurts my heart they have the Cowboys star. Not gonna lie.
Jack, I hate when people say this. We fucking had to start first. We are Philadelphia. Dallas only started in 1960.
Yeah.
The USFL started way back in the day.
Hey, so Dallas copied us is what Tom's saying.
If it wasn't completely across the room and you won't be able to see it by camera, I have a Dallas Stars pennant in this basement. I'm looking at it right now.
Why?
Because my dad really liked not the Dallas Stars, the Philadelphia Stars back in like the 80s when Trump and the USFL.
Oh my god.
It's true. It's not a political statement. It's just a fact.
Except when Trump owned the USFL, were you watching?
No, and I'm not watching it now. I didn't
Why?
I didn't know this was actually happening.
You're not rooting for Philly? You don't want to watch football this time of the year?
No, because like I watched the what was the one like 2 years ago that got canceled because of COVID? The XFL.
Yeah, XFL. That
I
was
watched
amazing.
the XFL for like 3 weeks. I really got into it. Like I was like waking up, ready to go. Then it got canceled. I'm not having my heart broken again. I'm just not getting involved.
The XFL's coming back though. Dwayne the
I'm
Rock.
not gonna watch it anymore either. I got too many teams, Tom. I got too many sports.
Yeah.
Jordan, are you watching the USFL or the XFL?
I'm not because with you, I am going to agree with the guy before me, and I didn't think it was going to happen just like the XFL kind of crashed and burned until The Rock decided to take over. But I will say that you mentioned that the quarterback for this team is the Aaron Rodgers of the USFL. I want you to know just one thing. That means he's not going to show up in big games. I want to make that very clear, guys.
That's very true. That's a very good point. In the clutch moments, he will choke. We'll keeping track of the USFL for you guys during the year. Definitely a new end of the year. And we're gonna keep track of it because without the NFL, I mean, what else are we gonna do? Hopefully, Philadelphia gets their shit together and bounces back next game. The draft is
Next
1
week.
week away from tomorrow. Yeah, 1 week away from tomorrow. We were talking about going and reporting live on the scene with J-Do. I mean, Jack, I know you're a diehard LSU fan football-wise. Why don't you tell us about your boy here, Derek Stingley, and him potentially coming?
That's just not accurate, bud. You know I'm a diehard Notre Dame fan, so
I know
don't
you
really
love LSU.
care less about LSU. But I mean, he looks like a good player. He's a little small. He's 6'1" and 195, which kind of scares me. But I mean, are these stats from 2021? If he only played, no, there's no way.
No, they're from 2019. These stats are. He only played 3 games in 2021.
I think the main reason why we're holding out on Tyrann Mathieu is because we're gonna draft Kyle Hamilton, and I think that's a better spot and better draft pick than Stingley, for sure. Not really sure much about him, but I watched Hamilton when he played for Notre Dame, and he was a beast. So, and he's a very versatile player, which I think would fit well on the Eagles. I'm not so sure about Stingley.
Ooh, why? Somebody doesn't like the L, the S, the U. Is that? What did you want to say something, Jack?
No.
Yeah, this guy's undersized. I don't like him.
Oh, okay. Somebody else doesn't like the L, the S, the U.
No, I like the team that I went to college with. Go Maryland. Yeah.
I'm a terrible.
Yeah, well, it must be nice to have a football team. That's all I'll say, right, Tom?
We are.
Oh
No, you didn't go to Penn State. Pennsylvania people, Penn State's like their team. Like that's not how that works.
Yeah, but St. Jude's doesn't have a football team.
That's not my fucking problem. Go to a school that has a football team.
So, okay, Dalton picked LSU. I picked Penn State. What's the
I
difference?
make fun of Dalton for being an LSU fan. I make fun of Jack for being a Notre Dame fan.
Is that we're all gonna start making an alliance and making fun of
Good.
you for
Good.
being a Maryland fan
Zach,
because
That's fine.
Would you much rather have Hamilton than Stingley?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
I do kind of agree with the homie from last week. I am a little afraid that Hamilton will turn into a linebacker. Not that we don't need a linebacker, but I definitely think Hamilton's upside's like way better.
Yeah. I do like LSU. I like what they produce, but I have to agree with them.
Wow, Tommy agreeing with you one time. Wow.
No, I agree with Zepp. I never agree with you.
Okay. fuck you.
Thank you, Tom.
Tom, anything else you want to say? I mean,
Like they produce great corners. Don't get me wrong. Like if he was like,
I don't want him.
but yeah, I'd rather Hamilton out of Notre Dame.
Well, yeah, I
plain and
think everybody wants Hamilton, but if Hamilton's not there, Sauce isn't there. I mean, I feel like this guy's the next best option, right?
Sure, and then we convert him to a corner.
Yeah,
of-
he's
of
already
the
a
size
corner.
thing. Like
He hasn't been.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he just hasn't been good since 2019.
Don, you get a hard
Sydney
on for
Jones 2.0.
you get a hard on
Yeah.
for any LSU player.
I do, and I currently have one right now. That's why I'm waiting to go last. Maybe I'll go get my jersey. Jordan, do you feel that like we could use this guy? Do you keep track with college football or anything you want to say?
Follow a little bit. I feel like I think the main guy, if we go corner in the draft, I think we need to go Sauce. I like we did at Cincy. If not, I think Kyle Hamilton's the way to go. We will need help at safety position. We can't afford Tyrann Mathieu, especially not long term, because he's gonna want big bucks. But I feel like we need someone. We need to keep Devonta in the nickel in that slot corner position. That we need someone to pair opposite of Slay. But we have to go here. It's not going to be a horrible draft. I don't think he'll bust. I think he'll do relatively okay for us next year if we have to draft him.
Yeah, I think that he'll be a pretty solid player. I mean, Jack, here it comes. As Jack said, I mean, I do love my LSU players, and this kid would be so good for us. I mean, look at what we did with Jalen Mills, and he sucked. If we could get some guy with this talent, that season that he had in 2019, 38 total tackles, 31 solo tackles, 1 forced fumble, 6 picks. I know he only played 3 games in 2021, and he seems a little bit undersized, but it don't matter. He's a playmaker. Look at the film. Look at the tape. He would fit right in perfectly next to Darius Slay. And when Darius Slay gets older, you can extend this guy to a longer contract, and you fix that cornerback position for years to come. You don't put a freaking Band-Aid on the problem. You just fix it for years to come. I would love it by the Eagles if they made this with one of their 2 picks and if he falls.
If he had the same stats and did not play for LSU, would you be a big fan of him?
Yes. 6 interceptions is very impressive.
I don't believe that.
Yeah,
That's
but
cap.
I believe it.
In 3
That's cap.
games.
It's not cat.
I need
Also,
him on the
the
field
Sixers
more
are
than
down
3
6.
games a year, Dutch.
All right. Well, you guys are just LSU haters, I guess.
What are you talking about? I talked about how I love LSU.
Tom hates Joe Burrow. I heard he hates LSU.
I love Joe Burrow.
Yeah, you do love Burrow. Joe Burrows. But Tom, one team that you do hate, NFC
Seahawks.
West. Oh, yeah, I knew it was it. Go ahead, tell us why.
There's only one team. Like, I don't give a shit about the Rams. I don't give a shit about the Cardinals, and I don't give a shit about the 49ers. But the goddamn Seahawks beat us every damn time. They're like the Miami Marlins of the NFL for us. No matter what, it doesn't matter how good, doesn't matter how bad they are, we cannot beat them. And it pisses me off because we can't beat them.
And Clowney's the reason that Wentz isn't an Eagle anymore.
Correct.
Clowney's the reason that you don't get to see your favorite player in your favorite jersey anymore.
I know. I got to see him in those trash ass and NFC or whatever commando, commie, whatever name they're choosing this week to go by, uniform, puke red, whatever uniform it is.
Yeah, you just have a whole ball of hate for them. I did not expect the Seahawks to be so hated for you. Most people like the Seahawks. DK.
My dad
Russ.
loves to see, like, if there's a second team, my dad's a Seahawks fan. He's got Seahawks jerseys. He's got Seahawks, like, pennants and stuff and flags. But I hate them.
Yeah. Jordan, do you have a most hated NFC West team, and who is it?
Oh, it's definitely going to be the Seahawks, man. like he said, 49ers, Arizona, I don't care about them. I don't give a shit. The Rams are now playing like they're playing Madden. They took the salary cap completely off by signing all these motherfuckers. But the Seahawks, we can't. The Seahawks are our kryptonite. I mean, look at DK Metcalf owning and being Darius Slay's daddy last year on the field, and every year before that, and them just beating on our entire team. It's definitely the Seahawks.
All right. Well, it seems to be a consensus so far. Is that?
I have actively stated my hatred for Cliff Kingsbury and how shitty of a coach he is. All that being said, it's still the Seahawks.
Oh my God, you almost had it. Anyway,
well, okay. I really like Russell Wilson. I think Pete Carroll's a good coach. I think DK Metcalf is a great receiver. I think Bobby Wagner. Like, I like everybody on the Seahawks with the exception of Clowney, but he was only on there for one season.
Pete Carroll's a scumbag.
Yeah, they're just our kryptonite. Like, I agree. We just can't beat them. So it's got to be them. Wait, why don't you like Pete Carroll, Tom?
Because he's a scumbag. Do you know why he had to leave LSU? He got his coaching job, but he was about to be forced out of LSU because of some of the things he was doing to players. Like, he was like very much doing stuff that like what was that guy that just got cut from the Jaguars 3 weeks into the season? What was his name?
Talking about this guy, Tom?
Yeah, that guy.
What? Wait, LSU or USC?
He was at USC.
Yeah, okay.
He was doing like the same shit to college players.
What do you mean, like touching them? What?
Like, you remember how like that guy kicked the kicker for missing a kick?
Urban Meyer.
Like Pete Carroll would do.
Bro, that's fine. I'm cool with it.
I'm not.
Woo! Wake up, Tom. We're playing football today.
Hey.
Oh.
Yo, hit the showers, baby. That's how we do in Texas.
Jack,
Jackass.
Nobody's giving me the answer I want yet, but Jack.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the consensus. I'm a
Seahawks.
Seahawks hater because everyone said they're a kryptonite, and I hate when the Eagles play the Seahawks because my one cousin, he's a Seahawks fan, talks all this crap. No matter how bad the Seahawks are and how good the Eagles are, they always find a way to beat us, and it pisses me off. I mean, I'm not a big Pete Carroll fan at all, but yeah, I mean, the Seahawks are definitely our kryptonite.
Tom. All right.
I'm gonna guess. You're gonna say the 49ers.
No, he's gonna say the Cardinals.
No, I'm gonna say the fucking Cardinals. I mean, motherfuck them. They always get the best of us. And Cliff Kingsbury's so annoying. He's just a smug bastard that slicks his hair back and acts like he's in a sorority and just
one of the greatest
hangs out all day. He's a terrible coach.
Stop.
I love Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh my God, if you start defending Cliff Kingsbury like you defend Baker Mayfield, I'm gonna No.
For me? What?
You hate Cliff Kingsbury, I was gonna say.
Yeah, he's an idiot. He's horrible.
That's why I also hate the Cardinals.
So bad.
Because they beat us. So we've always had a rivalry with them. Remember that game when Jeremy Maclin ran through the Gatorade, and that was like one of the coolest Eagles highlights ever? We don't have we didn't win that game. So that highlight doesn't really count in my mind because we didn't win the game. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say that, but it just doesn't feel as good when you don't win the game and when you're talking about it. So give me the Cardinals just because they're the spoiler of spoilers. Fuck them. I feel like anybody else have anything else that they want to say about this topic? I mean,
I really like
JJ Watt. What are your guys' seconds? Are your guys seconds the Cardinals?
Yes.
Jack?
Yeah.
Jordan?
I'm gonna go Niners.
Probably consensus on that one. That'd be the Cardinals also.
Okay. Tom, why the fuck is it the
NFC championship game? Great game. Eagles Cardinals. We lost, but still great game.
That's another reason why. Oh my God.
I'm gonna go Niners because it's the same reason why I hate the Patriots. They have too many championships.
What? The Niners, like, we never played them in anything significant, though. Like,
Yeah, but still.
what the fuck?
Way to stick to your guns, Tom.
Do you just hate the Steelers, too, for no reason?
Well, they're our Pennsylvania rival. That's about it.
All right, that's
Oh,
true.
well, we like Penn State. We like Penn State. So
We are, Dutch.
Because that's like it unifies all of Pennsylvania.
I thought that was hating your
college.
governor.
Oh, I hate. We all that unifies everyone. Everyone hates our governor.
Yo, Tom, for your birthday in July, I'm going to give you a Marlins jersey.
A what jersey?
Marlins.
Thank you. I'll wear it with pride. Can it please be a Jazz Chisholm jersey?
Yeah.
Nice. Aww.
All right, everybody. It's time for a new topic as well. We're trying to incorporate some new stuff. Will we take a minute here? I guess, should I just let the intro explain it? Yeah. Tom, you ready?
I'm ready.
Time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dorden, the mayor of Delaware.
What is that? This is something that we kind of put together today, and Miguel and I were in Baltimore. The question I have, and we'll give the answer at the end of the show. Put in the comments if you know the answer. Which Eagles has the most rushing yards in one game? Which Eagle has the most rushing yards in one game?
Oh, we'll give the answer at the end of the show. Start putting your answers in the chat. We won't zep. If they put the answer in the chat, don't put it up until the end of the show. But if you know it, put it in the chat. Let us know. Stick around to see it at the end of the show, and we'll keep asking the question as well.
Jack, I'm gonna need more pizzazz the next time. Like that was very dull. I need more pizzazz. More.
Tommy, you didn't give pizzazz to your little schmidt.
Yeah, Tom.
I
Why
wanna
don't you step up to the plate, Salucci, and give us some pizzazz on Deebo Samuel potentially coming to Philadelphia?
I would love this. He'll single-handedly get us at least one playoff win like he did with the 49ers. This is the only wide receiver I'm very willing to overspend on. You want to overspend on Julio Jones? Overspend on this guy. This guy. Hey.
Wait, can you point to the screen again, please?
This
No,
guy.
can you point to your to your right? Gotcha.
Here, Ditch. He single-handedly pretty much won the 49ers a playoff game last year against the Packers. Like you want washed up Julio Jones, who wants like a max contract, superstar contract, who's going to do nothing for us, like he did nothing for the Titans. Whereas this guy could single-handedly we made the playoffs without him. We could very well make a playoff run just by adding him. He's very much a difference maker.
No, he
God. Sorry. Big M1.
He would definitely change the whole aspect of the franchise. Would you be willing to overspend on Deebo? This is something, I mean, you're kind of like Salucci. You don't want to spend on a wideout, but Deebo?
Low-key, I did. And then I saw a report that said like he didn't want to do like the wide receiver / halfback role that he was in San Francisco. And he's one of those receivers where like he's not really like the deep threat type of guy. He's more of like get the ball in his hands as quickly as possible and let him turn to a running back with the ball. And if he doesn't want to do that, then kind of hurts some of his skill set. So I don't really know, but he's definitely a good receiver, and he's definitely like obviously a huge part of the Niners offense. So I think we could turn him into something great. But if he's not open to playing a different role, then I don't know. I'm uncertain. But either way, he's a good player, and he's gonna get a very nice contract wherever he goes.
So, Josh, the report you had, did it say what exactly he wants to be more like a receiver?
Yeah, he just wants to play wide receiver, which I get. I mean, like I respect it, but I feel like him being like a Swiss Army knife in the offense makes him more
way more valuable to teams.
Yeah, more versatile. Yeah. So
Yeah, no, and I think this is what's going to happen. That we're not going to get Matthew because we're going to get Deebo Samuel. But the thing is, if he's not going to willing to be versatile, like he was used in San Francisco, which I mean, there was no player like him at all in the league when he did that. I mean, it's gonna. I don't know if he's gonna be that great of a player if he can't be, used different, and used different ways. I think, like Tom said, he's definitely gonna be. If he gets on the Eagles, he's gonna allow us to get a playoff run. But that doesn't matter if he wants to play how he was playing in San Francisco. But this dude's a beast, and I will overpay for him to be on the Eagles.
Yeah, I would love to overspend for him. Like you're calling it, Jack, about Tyrann Mathieu. I think the 14. Zep made a really good point about the being versatile, and I did want to address that, and I'll just get that out of the way now before I forget. But he had 14 total touchdowns last season. 6 of them were receiving, 8 of them were rushing. So when teams are looking at him, they're expecting this guy to be able to do end around, to be able to do some rushes on the outside and be a physical wideout. That's what I think that the Eagles would expect him to do. At least I would hope, especially with Sirianni's creative offense. He's 26 years old. The thing that scares me a lot is the bottom stat. 46% of his career snaps were played in 2021. That scares me because he was injured or kind of away during the time before that. We always knew when Deebo was on the field, difference maker. But the question is, how often will Deebo be on the field? He did just play a full season and was a true difference maker. I think we all know that. But if he comes here and he gets injured, that really, really makes the investment a lot more south, not worth it, in my opinion.
I honestly don't think he's going to be a physical receiver. I don't think he's built like that.
You think he's past that phase now?
I don't think he's ever been physical. I think he's just been quick and gets open like that, not physical.
Yeah.
Not like Metcalf.
I don't think his size is why he's not viewed as physical, but I think that the way he plays is physical. He runs and he shrugs guys off of him. He's a physical ball carrier.
Yeah.
I think if he wants to be past that phase, so be it. But like Zep said, it's going to bring down your value a lot. Like teams are going to be asking when they're negotiating, okay, we're expecting you to run the ball, Deebo. Are you going to be able to do this? And he better be able to be like, shit, yeah. Jordan, would you want this guy to come to Philly?
I say overpay spend the money on him. I mean, he's not physical, but he would definitely help with that. He's 26 years old. He still help that little bit of veteran presence we need in our wide receiver room to pair up with Devonta Smith, Dak Pascal, who just signed, and Quez Watkins, and then we can get Jalen Rager the hell out of the damn depth chart because he's garbage.
Yep.
But I say go for it. And have someone call Kyrie Roseman and tell him to make a freaking deal.
Yeah, somebody go in there, grab him in his office by his neck. Right, Jack?
Jordan. Yes. Jordan, let me ask you, how do you feel about the Zach Pascal?
I didn't watch too much of Zach Pascal. I think he's been in for a few years now with Indianapolis. So I think it's going to be. I think it's a better situation than where we're at now. Because in all honesty, I think I saw a rating the other day, and they rated our position and like wide receivers at like the bottom. And I totally understand because, like, it's been over the years, minus I think Devonta Smith as a rookie last year. How Roseman sucks at drafting wide receivers.
True.
He's absolute garbage when it comes to drafting wide receivers. He can pick them up in free agency all the time. He's done great pickups. Torrey Smith, Alshon Jeffrey. He had good in that one for like a few weeks. Then he wasn't on the team no more. But drafting wise, he's garbage when it comes to drafting receivers.
I agree with that.
Will Pascal help, Jack? What do you think?
I think so. I think,
like Fitz is saying.
Yeah. I think he would help. I mean, I haven't really watched him when he was on the Colts, but I think it's better than where we were at last season and previous seasons. I think he's a great quarterback, or I'm sorry, not a quarterback, great receiver. And I think he'd be that nice slant threat or maybe a deep post threat. But I really, really want to see. I mean, it's a matter if Jalen Hurts can throw the ball because if we get Deebo Samuel, we have Pascal, we have Quez Watkins, we have Smith. We just need to know how to throw the ball and give Hurts weapons on the field to do well with. So I think Pascal will definitely help somewhat.
He's got to be able to be different in the
Artega
way
White.
that he plays than Devonta, and he, don't even
Hell of a
say
lot better than Artega Whiteside and Rager.
That's true, but isn't it very easy to be better than both of those guys?
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty damn sure.
That would make him our number 3, though.
Yeah. Tom, what do you think with the Eagles? You're the money man. The Eagles have a lot of assets. Is Howie Roseman running out of time to deal Andre Dillard and Gardner Minshew at their highest value?
I think if he gets the right offer for Minshew, he'll send him away. But at the same time, it's like he saw how valuable a very good backup quarterback could be. So I don't see him really getting rid of Minshew until either A, his contract runs out and he just goes in free agency, or we just keep him for until like he's no good. Dillard, though, Dillard's a whole different ball game. Dillard, I think he needs to trade like ASAP. You have Mailata, who's proven he's your guy over there. Dillard, he hasn't really done anything, and the few chances we give him, he's a solid. He looked like a solid backup, but everybody keeps saying he's going to be a stud lineman. So trade him away if everyone thinks he has all this potential, because we're not going to use him with Mailata over there and Lane Johnson on the other side, and he has no interest in playing guard. Trade him away. This is the best time to trade him.
Yeah. I think personally, if I was Howie Roseman, I would be calling up a lot of teams, including the New York Giants. If I was Howie, I'd be calling the Seahawks for Gardner Minshew and the Panthers, and I'd be calling the New York Giants for Dillard. And I was talking about it with Jack today, and a lot of teams don't like interdivisional trades. But I said to Jack, it would probably work out. And even if Andre Dillard is a Pro Bowler, which he won't be, the Giants, they're going to screw it up. I wish that our Giants expert was here tonight. He's studying for finals. God bless him. Declan, we miss you. But the Giants will somehow find a way to fuck it up with Andre Dillard. Howie Roseman, you need to make a trade happen with a team that's desperate for a lineman that will just roll the dice and take something. Get Dillard out of here. Because, I mean, I do like what Zepp said earlier in the season. I agree with his point. Maybe have a flex lineman, a guy that can kind of move around because guys do get injured. I just don't know if Dillard's that guy. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really heard any rumblings about Minshew, but I would keep Minshew because unless we get rid of him, trade him for something, and then draft like a quarterback in like the 4th round for backup. But I think he's a good backup for Jalen Hurts because, granted, if Jalen Hurts fucks it up this season, Minshew's going to take the job for sure. I mean, we saw again they played against the Jets, but he played really well. He was 20 for 24 or whatever. And like Tom said, if there's a lot of potential with him, then trade him away now and get something out of it. Get a pick or get a player. I mean, I haven't really seen much talent out of Dillard at all when he's been on the field. But if they say that he's worth it, then trade him away as soon as possible. But keep Minshew because, granted, if Hurts plays decent this season, we won't need to use him. But if he doesn't, I mean, why do you think we traded for the 2023 draft and got that pick in the 1st round? Because if Jalen Hurts doesn't do well this season, we're either going to draft a quarterback or do something. So definitely keep Minshew and see what happens with Hurts this season.
Okay. Jordan?
Minshew, I keep. Like I said, he's he's a good backup. I guess it was against the Jets, but he put a hell of a game up against the Jets. And unless we're gonna draft, somebody or pull Howie Roseman magic card and get someone at free agency that's worth a dang, pull Nick Foles out. I don't know, but get rid of. I say get rid of him, but at the same time get rid of him because he's not lived up to his hype that everyone says he was. If he's a stud, get rid of him. You can get something for him, but at the same time, I say keep him. Look at, I think it was 2020, we went through 14 or 15 different O-line combinations throughout the year because of injuries. Yeah. But I like Mailata. He's doing his thing at that spot, and he needs to keep on turning because he's a beast.
Yeah, he's been a stud all year for us. I mean, at first, I think a lot of us wanted to see Dillard there just because what we invested in Dillard compared to what we invested in Mailata. But the way that Mailata's played, you can't not want him to stay in that position.
What do you just contract extension? So,
yeah.
What do you think? Let's answer Fitz's question. What do you think the Giants will give up for Dillard?
That's a great question. I would say a second-round pick would be what I would think. What do you guys think? Maybe a third?
Second round in this year's draft or next year's draft?
A second round in next year's draft, a third round in this year's draft. One of the two, not both.
I mean, there's a lot of holes there.
I think they give us both.
You think they give us what?
I think if you're asking for a second and third, they give us both.
Fuck no. They want to give us both for this guy. He's ass. Andre Dillard is not worth that.
Yeah, but a lot of teams think he's going to be a stud.
I know what you mean. They think that they can fix him, but I don't think that Howie could fleece somebody that much.
Play it up. Don't undersell. Come on, you're a salesman. You should know this.
Oversell.
Mama.
Please.
Yeah.
Look, Fitz is optimistic too, Tom. He said that Howie.
I know. I agree with that. We need him on right now so I can have some backup here.
But no, I would do that too. Second and third round pick. Because me and Dalton were talking about it. The Giants don't really have much of a lineman. Yeah, they spent a lot of money on their line. What was it, like 6 years ago? And either those players have been injured or they retired. So, I mean, why not give it to him? Let the Giants deal with him. Let's get rid of him and get some picks out of it for sure.
Zep?
I think we need to keep Dillard. Like I said earlier in the season, we need that flex offensive lineman because our guys get hurt too much. And he played good last season. And honestly, I'm tired of stacking up draft picks. Like, at some point, we got to play the guys we draft. So it's not like he's played bad. Like, he just hasn't played to a first-round level, which is fine. But we might have to make him play guard at some point. Like, when Jason Kelce retires and Sayla Malu kicks in or whatever is going to happen, Dickerson, we're going to have a guard spot to fill. And Dillard's kind of short, low-key. So,
but do you think he's capable of doing that, being that flex position?
Yeah, absolutely. He did it last year. He played great. He played great as a non-starter.
He played a little bit of guard last year, didn't he? And he didn't do bad.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be really, really interesting to see what happens to this Eagles offensive line in the next 16 months.
Yeah, because I mean they're old, so
yeah, they're old.
This season, Kelsey's going to be out, and maybe and what's his face?
Johnson will be getting old.
Yeah, so
Fitz, I love you, buddy, but I don't think there's any way Seattle would okay that trade.
Dillard and a third and a six. I would love that, but there's no way.
If Seattle was down with that, I'd do that in a heartbeat.
I would do that. I would give up double that.
Yeah.
Zep, our final question of the night, guys, trying to move it on to a fun topic. You're stuck on an island, Zep, and The island says there's one beer that you can have forever, for the rest of your life. The Fountain of Youth set. Which beer are you choosing and why? And it does not have to be a beer pictured on your screen, but what beer are you picking?
Bud Light, Philly, Dilly Dilly. Easy, simple. Brings me back to 2017, 2018. Super Bowl run. Huge Bud Light guy. I still got the cutout of the old 30 packs that they used to have with the Philly. So, yeah, definitely Bud Light.
All right. Let's go
Also,
to...
it just tastes the best. I should say that too. It just tastes the best.
This guy sounds like he does not like your answer.
Yeah, no. So if I was on an island, what's the island drink? It's the good old Corona Light with the lime. So I would go with the Corona Light. It's not too heavy. I don't think the taste gets old to me personally. And it just makes you want to be on a beach. So if you're stranded on a beach, you got Corona Light for you. Natty Light, that's college beer, dude. I'm so far done with that. Like I haven't had a natural light since I don't know 8 months ago. I've never been a big fan of
Had it
Bud Light.
last weekend.
No, I didn't. I didn't drink last weekend. Budweiser, I'm not a big fan of. Miller Lite, it's a nice little beer. Coors Light, you gotta drink when the mountain's cold and blue. And then Guinness. As an Irishman myself, I do love the Guinness, but extra Corona Light gets the top of the cake.
I do love my Guinness. Oh my god.
Like just what cabbage and whatever, the corned beef and cabbage.
It's fucking bullshit. Tell him like you're Peroni.
Italians are the worst. Irish are the best.
I'm gonna go with the dark horse, and I'm gonna be the one guy. I'm gonna be that guy.
Stella.
A Yards or it's Jefferson Pale Ale. It's like part of their Revolution pack, the Jefferson Ale. Oh, it's delicious. I love it. And it is a Philly beer. So that would be my one that I go with all the time. And
No, that's
9%.
not your answer. That's wrong.
Okay, if I go with one on the screen.
No, that's not. You're forgetting one, Tom. You're
If
forgetting
I have to go with mainstream beer, yeah, it's Peroni.
No, it's not even that.
Then what? Oh, I know what you want. It's with the Flyers, by the Bats.
No, it's Cape May IPA, Jack.
Oh, I do love a good Cape May IPA. That's my summer beer.
So
if I'm on an island, I'm going to Cape May IPA, the Orange Crush specifically. The flavor. Like if I'm on
this
an
message
island
is not sponsored, but it can be.
It can be. I do love a good Cape May IPA. Hey.
Okay.
But my all-time favorite beer right now is still the Yards Jefferson Ale.
All right.
That's a Philly brand too, so come on now.
It's an all right answer. I feel like Jordan's gonna give us a way better answer though. What do you think, Jordan?
I'm gonna say with two simple words there, man. Dilly cold Bud Light all day long. That's all I need to say with that one.
Hey, I like it.
Yes,
Short,
Jordan.
sweet.
Yes, Jordan.
All right, guys.
I do miss the Bud Night for sure.
Bud Night?
Oh,
Bring back the Bud Night.
Oh, you have a
R.I.P.
picture of me at Bud Night.
R.I.P. Bud Night. Yeah.
I do miss him. I guess that mine, honestly, would probably be
Is
Bud
an
Light,
Orange
too.
Crush because
Dalton's
I don't
if
never
I
drink
drank
beer.
a beer in his life.
I have drank a beer when I was
You like that Cape May?
when I was 21. I drank a beer. I gotta be careful.
like
when
that
I was
grape
younger. I
one.
drank a beer when I was 21.
You like-
Anyway,
You like that grape soda taste in one?
that's okay. The Cape May IPA, but the Bud Light. If I had to pick a mainstream beer, it would be either Bud Light or Corona, probably. Natty Light on an odd day. I don't know. Natty Light, I think, is kind of underrated. Budweiser sucks in my opinion. Coors Light's
Bud
pretty
heavy.
good when it's cold. Coors Light actually is probably the one that I would pick. Michelob Ultra is not my favorite.
An athlete's beer.
No, I would
Yeah.
drink Michelob with the cactus pear infusion. That's the best Michelob. That's
Boy, that
that's
sounds like the
that's the Ed
douchiest thing I've
Trainer.
ever
That's
heard.
an Ed Trainer special.
That's because it
Yeah.
is.
It's fucking douchey.
I couldn't drink a Michelob. My parents love Michelob too. That's the funny thing. They both love it. I don't like Michelob.
Because your
Bud
dad's
Light.
an athlete.
My dad is not an athlete. My dad is not an athlete. I love my dad, but he's not. He used to be.
So don't you have a big weekend this weekend in Tommy Boy? So what's your case gonna be?
Oh yeah, so Tom and I, everybody, thank you for reminding me, Jack. We are going to be attending the Philly Sports Guy at Dolan's Pub. If you're not going, go. Dolan's Pub in
Ridley
Ridley
Creek.
Park, 11 a.m. There's going to be a TikTok telethon, a wiffle ball game. It all supports and benefits the Eagles Autism Foundation. But there will be a beer chugging contest. And somebody, I think, that might be participating for us in the beer chugging contest.
Tom, you have any what's on your mind? How are you feeling about this weekend?
I'm feeling good. I actually drank a lot last weekend, which I hadn't drank in actually a good while because of busy season. So I actually felt good after drinking too. Like I woke up and there was nothing wrong with me, which was great. No hangover, and we'll just say we had a bang up night to say the least.
So you're gonna carry the team?
So yeah, I'll carry the team if need be.
Oh my god!
What's
is Aaron? Is Aaron gonna come?
No, she has a play. Well, she said she might stop by for a little bit, but she has a play.
We got to figure out how you're gonna get there and how you're gonna get home.
It's called Uber for me. Ridley's not that far.
Okay, true, good. Well, then this is gonna be a lot of fun. Salucci's the Italian man is gonna have to represent us in the Irishman, and I mean, we're fucked.
Italians can't drink. It's the real Irishmen that can.
Jack, are we?
Jack, I don't see your ass showing up. So
I'll be in Texas. So
no, Jack would win it clean. Jack would win it clean.
I would drink.
Jack, are we fucked?
Tommy?
Jack, are we fucked?
Yeah, you're pretty fucked. Yeah.
Say it one more time, Jack.
You guys are absolutely fucked. Josh, it's an intro, not an outro. I'm sorry, it's an outro, not an intro.
Jordan can't drink beer.
Tommy's a bitch.
Jordan gets no puss.